My poem titled Skating culminated what I learned in my beginning poetry workshop during the fall of my freshman year. It serves as a testimony for my discovery of a better process of writing, that being just letting go of my own harsh criticism and letting the words flow out. Skating explores my biggest passion, figure skating, which allowed me to eventually breathe life into it, but I struggled when I began writing. I knew I wanted to write about skating that semester. I had always wanted to write about skating, but I kept putting it off. Assignment after assignment, I chose to avoid the topic of skating because I did not feel ready to write about it. I was so hesitant to write about skating because it means so much to me, and I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to be proud of the piece, and I wanted it to reflect the essence of my love for figure skating. In addition, I wanted it to portray what I feel on a daily basis to people who are not figure skaters. I spent many practice sessions on the ice pondering what exactly made me love skating and how I could put these feelings into words. My main way of putting these feelings into words ended up being an extended metaphor, allowing musical concepts, an important component of figure skating, to capture the sounds of skating, which, as I found in my thought-provoking practice sessions, really contribute to the feeling of skating. There's nothing like the sound of a clean landing, which means that the jump was landed on the right part of the blade and was fully rotated. For this sound, I ultimately allowed myself to be freed of words, to literally type letters to form one of my favorite sounds in skating, that sks of a clean landing. I then allowed these musical concepts to expand and provide depth for my poem. For example, I really emphasized in my poem the idea of a spinning record, and I used this record to emphasize the repetition of skating, going around and around the rink, and executing elements over and over again until they're ingrained in muscle memory. In addition, the music allowed me to represent the mindfulness that goes into skating in terms of looking at the very fine details and making sure that these are ingrained in muscle memory. So after this first draft, I remember talking in class about how allowing personal dialect to shine through in a poem can give it personality and depth. This ultimately encouraged me to include words from my skating lingo in my poem. I cut the cliches from the first draft of my poem and replaced them with my own lingo, tossing in a series of element names, which ended up placing the audience into my mind better than if I had avoided those words. Overall, writing this poem was very meaningful to me because I was able to discover a bit about myself in the process. Finally finding a way to describe on paper the sound of a clean landing, pondering the warm feeling I get while skating, and pulling all those ups and downs of a practice session into something rhythmic and comforting. Throughout the semester, it was hard to open up like this and allow my true personality to be reflected in my writing. Skating, as my last poem of the semester, finally did this for me.